I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes astray. But when I woke up this morning, I could have sworn it was Judgment Day. The sky was all purple. There were people running everywhere. Tried to run from my destruction. You know I didn't even care. They say 2000 party over, oops, out of time. So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999. Lyrics from the classic song 1999 by Prince. Prince is in the news today. He's been dead for a number of years now. If you've somehow been living under a rock, Prince died in 2016 of an accidental fentanyl overdose at the age of 57, sadly. But the controversial Prince Netflix documentary will not be released, per Prince's estate. In a statement from his estate on Twitter, also, I'm never going to call it X, so screw off. It's still Twitter to me. The statement reads, the Prince estate and Netflix have come to a mutual agreement that will allow the estate to develop and produce a new documentary featuring exclusive content from Prince's archive. As a result, the Netflix documentary will not be released. Netflix has canceled what was set to be a 6-part documentary directed by Ezra Edelman, best known for directing the 2017 Oscar-winning documentary OJ, Made in America. Upon making this news public, Prince's estate took to Twitter to say the vault has been freed in a new post, including the hashtag free. Great website to declare that on, if you ask me. Sarcasm. Because of Elon. Representatives for the late artist's estate have previously claimed that a first cut of the movie was filled with dramatic and factual inaccuracies and sensationalized renderings of certain events from his life, according to sources close to the situation. Londell McMillan, the primary executor to the Prince estate, who also happens to be the lawyer that helped Prince get out of the contract with his former record label Warner Brothers Records in 1996. He took to Twitter and said, anyone disparaging or slandering Prince has a problem with me. He had human flaws, as we all do, but he was a great man, greatest artist ever, philanthropist, innovator, and he helped many people, including me. People can say what they want, but won't use his platform to do it. In an article with the New York Times just last September, they say that several people close to the situation believe that McMillan's objections come down to a fear of the film getting Prince canceled and devaluing the estate's bottom line. And with this in mind, now the estate wants to produce their own documentary, which some fans believe will be a sanitized version of what we may have received, and I agree. Over 70 people were interviewed over the course of nearly 5 years for the documentary series. Everyone from band members, managers, assistants, collaborators, family, friends, bodyguards, Warner Brothers record executives, past journalists who covered Prince when he was active, even personal chefs. But what worried the Prince estate the most was past romantic partners linked to Prince. In the documentary, Jill Jones, a member of Prince's live band, said he punched her in the face repeatedly after she slapped him in 1984 in a hotel. The two were dating at the time. One of the most disturbing parts of the film was detailing Prince's relationship with Mayte Garcia, who became his wife. Prince met Garcia when she was 16 and he was 35. And while nobody in the documentary accuses Prince of having sex with them when they were under legal age, it does dive into their marriage and the loss of their first child, leading to their subsequent divorce. Wesley Morris, a critic at the New York Times, and one of the few people to see the film, said it was one of the only works I have ever seen that approximates the experience of suffering with and suffering through and alongside genius. Questlove has also seen it, the hip-hop artist, multi-instrumentalist, Academy Award-winning filmmaker, and music historian, who modeled much of his artistry after Prince from a young age. In a quote, he said, "It was a heavy pill to swallow when someone that you put on a pedestal is normal. Everything's here. He's genius. He's majestical. He's sexual. He's flawed. He's trash. He's divine. He's all of those things. And man, wow." The night of the screening, he said he told his therapist was a wake-up call and was quoted saying, "I don't want my life to be what I just saw there." While the initial agreement between Netflix and the Prince estate was for a 6-hour film, Edelman delivered a 9-hour film, violating terms of the agreement. When his team held a screening for Prince's estate, a lawyer representing the estate later presented the film crew with 17 pages of demanded changes. Edelman's team made some adjustments, but pleasing the estate was reportedly unsuccessful. The documentary was set to encapsulate all of Prince's legacy, focusing on both his artistry and his personal relationships, with many accounts of his abusive childhood and the abandonment of his young wife after the couple lost their child. What do you think of all this? I personally think that this is Prince's estate controlling the situation and that Netflix should be allowed to release the documentary. Knowing what I know about music biopics, most estates do everything in their power to protect the artist, so nothing bad can ever be said about them. And as a massive Prince fan, I think we deserve to hear the truth about certain things that we may not have known before, especially if Prince's ex-girlfriends are willing to come forward. Before COVID-19 hit in March of 2020, I actually got the opportunity to go to Prince's house in Minnesota on a guided tour. It was definitely a very cool experience, but we weren't really allowed to take photos. I do have some right here towards the end of the tour. Prince has been one of my favorite artists since I was a kid, so the fact that this documentary is being shelved in such a crazy way is really disappointing. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're new here, thanks for watching. My name is Tyler Common. This is Common Revolt. We'll see you next time. Hit that like button. Bye-bye.